Hi there! Welcome to episode 175 of the WaveBack Music Podcast. My name is Kris.
And I'm Matt.
And we're here to listen to the most interesting video game music there is. When Star Fox hit the Super NES, it introduced home console players to the world of fully 3D polygonal graphics in video games. But while the Super FX chip is most remembered for that flying classic, it was also used for several other SNES games, including a charismatic racer that has earned itself quite a cult following. I hope you like synthesized banjo, because tonight we listen to the music of Stunt Race FX for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Well, hello there, Matt.
Hello there, Kris.
How the bloody heck are you?
Excited for some synthesized banjo.
Oh, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Wow.
I actually spent a bunch of this evening playing through several courses in this game, and boy, do I love this music. It's so out there. It's so out there. I love it. I'm very excited for this entire episode, and I'm just excited to be here. I like doing this show. It's fun.
I like having you here.
Aw, I'm glad I'm there instead of here.
It's really hard to be there instead of here, but you make it work so well.
I do make it work. It's very Tim Gunn of me.
You beat me to it. I'm so glad you took that one.
I got confused between Tim Gunn and James Gunn for a second there. It's been so long since I've watched Project Runway.
I'm surprised you've watched before.
Oh my God, Karen and I used to watch that show for years.
Oh, so did me and my wife.
It's a great show.
Yes, I'm a big fan.
Is it still on?
I don't know. We stopped a couple years back, but
we stopped not long after we had kids, I think.
You just run out of time.
What was it? It eventually moved to Lifetime.
Oh,
right. It was on. Where did it start? I think it was on TLC or something, and then it eventually moved to the Lifetime channel, and then there was some sort of spin-off flavor of it because we watched this and Top Chef. Top Chef was Bravo. Wow. All right. So it does appear to still be cooking. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see here. Let's go to we're on IMDb. This is riveting television.
Thank God it's a podcast.
Yeah, looks like it just finished up a season on September of last year. Look at that. Good times. Is it still who's still on it? Is it still Heidi and Tim?
I imagine they've been the executive producers for years.
I don't see Heidi listed anymore. Oh, Christian Siriano is the mentor, and Nina Garcia is the judge. All right, I know
Nina Garcia
was always around, but it looks like she's the head judge now, because everybody else is listed as designers. I don't even see anybody else. Yeah, I think it's Christian Siriano and Nina Garcia is the pair now. I don't want to watch that show. Nothing against them, but Heidi and Tim. That's where it's at. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at the poster-ish image for the current season, and yeah, it's that's those two and some other people I don't know. And it's on Bravo. Project Runway All Stars. Fantastic. But anyway, Stunt Race F.
We really just went off on that tangent. Holy cow!
Wow, that was a fun trip. Good times, great oldies. Glad we had this conversation.
Fall. Yeah. The audience is probably like, "What did I just tune into?"
Well, unsubscribe.
Yep. It's been great. Thank you. Goodbye.
That was a waste of 5 minutes. I'll never get it back.
Nope.
All right. Well, we should get ourselves into gear.
There it is.
Little car pun there for you. So Mr. Matt.
Yes,
Matt.
Sir. What? Huh?
Hit us with some history.
Stunt Race FX was released in Japan as Wild Tracks in May of 1994, followed by a release in the US as Stunt Race FX on July 10th that same year. It's a 3D racing game that utilizes the Super FX chip to create fully rendered polygons on meager 16-bit Super NES hardware. You control one of 4 anthropomorphic racing vehicles, the Formula One style F-Type, a coupe, a big old pickup truck called 4WD, and an unlockable motorcycle called the 2WD. There's also a bonus stage where you can control the big rig. The game was a moderate success, particularly in Europe. No follow ups were ever made, though. Some sources claim the canceled Nintendo 64 game Buggy Boogie was intended to be a sequel. There isn't any official information to corroborate that.
Yeah, I think it's a load of malarkey. I've looked into Buggy Boogie, and it really doesn't look anything like Stunt Race FX. Doesn't seem to have any connections with the teams, but there are a few sources out there that say it was, so, well, that's what it is. But either way, this game's soundtrack was composed by Shinobu Amayake. She doesn't seem to have a very illustrious video game composition career, with very few credits under her belt. But there are good ones, including NES Open Tournament Golf, Wario's Woods, the NES version, and Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Almia for Nintendo DS. She's currently a professional piano player with her own freelance music business. Good for her.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, Matt, do you have any personal history with this game?
Yeah, I've played a little bit of this. I want to say that I never rented it, but I think my buddy did. And what we would end up doing, like while we were in, grammar school and high school, is someone would rent a game, and then we would just go over the other person's house and pretty much spend all weekend there, and we would, play whatever game it was. And I want to say that this was probably one of the ones that my friend rented. I've never been a real big racing video game fan. I don't know, they're just not for me. It's not my style, unless it's something ridiculous like Crazy Taxi. Um,
Yeah.
did you see, by the way, at Long Island's Too Many Games, someone showed up with
The wig and everything, yeah. Uh-huh.
That's so fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, I've never been a big like racing game like guy. Although I do have a soft spot in my heart for RC Pro Am. And
Oh,
I think
God, IRC Pro is so good. We
and
should do
then
a whole episode on it right now.
oh, okay, cool. I'm in.
There's, what, 2 songs, I think?
we could really knock it out and then just keep going like nothing ever happened.
100%, except, the 2 games just aren't related enough. They're close, close-ish, right? It's just the title screen, little jingle before you start a race, game over screen, and then when you're entering your initials. It's like 5 minutes of music tops.
Look at that. But anyway,
we should do an RC Pro Am 2 episode. Ooh, and the Game Boy one. I bet we could do all 3 RC Pro Am games in one episode.
we're gonna call it the franchise episode.
Ooh, yeah.
I like this. Somebody write this down.
Franchise.
Or Italian, francese.
Francese.
I'll take 2 to go, please. Anyway, so really, it didn't really stick in my brain. I mean, seeing stills and some video, some gameplay of it did kind of bring back a little bit of, hanging out with my friend and playing it. But truth be told, tonight's probably going to be an episode where it's all brand new to me.
Well, there is a lot more music in this game than I'm overly familiar with like the first couple of courses because that's what my friends and I would play an awful lot. But then there are definitely harder courses that after we discovered. So the way that it's laid out, you have like the 2 sets of courses on the screen, but you can scroll up to a 3rd set of courses that my friend Joe and I didn't really know about for a while. This is where we played this game for a couple of weeks, and then we're just, oh, wait a minute, there's more. Oh. Anyways, I love this game. I was a huge fan of Star Fox, and I was just like really into this weird, no texture polygonal look. I still think it's super cool. I love this look. The transition to 3D games has always been kind of bothersome to me. But the very, very early stuff that looks like the Money for Nothing video, like there's something still so very expressly video game about that before there was even any vague attempt at a degree of realism. So these kinds of really abstract, bizarre games, They look great, and I do love racing games, but only non-realistic racing games. I love me a good arcade style racing game. It's
I'll
you know
agree there.
Mario Kart, the Top
Yeah.
Gear games on Super Nintendo, this F-Zero. I really really like arcade style racing games, the cruising games. It's good stuff. Once you get into the realistic territory like Gran Turismo or Forza, I'm kind of tagged out. But arcade stuff that's not really realistic at all, that's a big fat win to me. And this game just captured my imagination straight away. I liked the music right off the bat. The moment you turn on the game, it makes this adorable little like honky noise, like a little toy horn, like it does that. Just you turn it on, and the Nintendo logo shows up to that goofy little horn sound. And I was like, "Yep, I'm into this 100%." I remember seeing it in magazines, thinking it looked really cool, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. And it does kind of run like a slideshow. The frame rate's brutal, but they managed to make the game play well, which is wild. Like once you kind of get the hang of the way it feels, you can get good at this game. And I did. I spent a lot of time with it. My friend, my late friend Joe Charles, I would go over to his house and play the heck out of this game, all the time. And like I said, we didn't even realize there was a third set of courses until we had been at it for a couple of weeks. And then when you do the third set of courses, you can unlock the 2-wheel drive, the motorcycle, and then that just makes kind of blows the game open because the motorcycle's really fast, so you can get like really good times and stuff. But there's so many neat little bits of character that this game has that always made me really happy. So and the music is one of those things that stuck with me, so we should jump right in, get to work, and give it a listen. There's a bunch of tracks on this tonight. I cut out very few because there's a lot of good music to listen to, and a handful of these tracks are actually pretty small. So we're gonna kick things off. We opened up the episode with the title screen music, which is it's a great tune. But we're gonna move on to the track selection. This is your basic menu music. It's Super Nintendo menu music through and through. I love this one. So here is track selection. Enjoy. That is the track selection, the menu music for Stunt Race FX. I love this sound font in its entirety. I'm a big fan of that. I love the how the main melody of the music is the bass. Just makes me happy.
Chef's kiss, huh?
Yeah, it's just a perfect little tune.
Yeah, it's just a nifty little piece of music. I mean, track selection. How much time are you really going to spend there? You
Right.
don't need to.
There's not a lot of options.
Yeah, it's not going to be your magnus opus. So, yeah, I liked it. I dug it.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've got that little amuse-bouche, it's time to move on to the main course. This first track. I hope you like some synthesized banjo, because you are about to get smacked in the face with some Super Nintendo bluegrass. I love this song.
Man.
This is the song for the first track in the game, Easy Ride. Strap in. Here we go. Enjoy. That was Easy Ride from Stunt Race FX. How you doing, Matt? How you
Oh,
feeling?
first of all, I want to say the image that popped up in my head when you said electric banjo, or excuse me, synthesized banjo, and then Super Nintendo Bluegrass was the cover to Phalanx.
Oh, Phalanx, nice.
Okay. Second, that did not disappoint. That was something else. Um, it's so typical of what I think you would hear when it comes to a racing game where you're like on a dirt track, right? Isn't there like I feel like there's a Super Mario Kart level that's very similar, in style.
Super Mario Kart, banjo-y. In Mario Kart 64, there definitely was some banjo-y stuff. Super Mario Kart, less so, but
Yeah, I'm so bad with names. So yeah, probably Mario Kart 64 then.
yeah, definitely
Anyway,
some 64-bit banjo going on in that one. But this one was this one is as the Syphilin Ali would say, this is a cattle blanking, banjo plucking, just a good old fashioned bluegrassy tune.
I sure. Yes, I'll take two.
Yeah, I love this song. Not just because of its ridiculous feel, because it hits you with the exact level of fun and goofy that this game is right out of the gate. But
Yeah.
it's also just a really catchy tune. Like it's got a really good feel to it. 100% Super Nintendo, but really doing that, doing the Lord's work, as they say. I don't know
Is it,
what else to say about it.
I mean, the track really ultimately speaks for itself, and like you said, it really gives you um a great idea of what you're in for.
Yes, maybe not as great an idea of the difficulty that you're in for, because this game can
Never
get
does.
pretty tough. But yeah, this level in particular is a nice, easy ride, and this music is really just kind of captures the personality that this game is going for. So we'll move on to the next track, which is the second one, and well, these are all basically going in chronological order throughout the course of the game. The next track is Aqua Tunnel, and if you'll remember that in the mid '90s when this game came out, there was a resurgent of that "Feeling Hot, Hot, Hot" song. You know?
Oh, Buster Poindexter.
Yeah, there's definitely that was a thing that was going around a lot in like TV commercials during that time, and this song seems to be really picking up what that song was laying down. And it's perfect for this nice tropical themed stage. So here is Aqua Tunnel from Stunt Race FX. Enjoy. Is that tropical enough for you there, Matt? That was Aqua Tunnel from Stunt Race FX, and I know you love that whistle sound. I heard it in your voice as you felt it in your teeth.
You know what the irony is? I just got back from the dentist, and I'm not even joking you. Um, First of all, I was wondering where this pina colada came from. Second,
It's just manifests itself when you play this song.
it really, really does. Um, I don't even know what to say. Like, for better or for worse, honestly. It's it does the job well. Don't ask me what that job is though.
The job is goofy tropical music. Because
Oh,
that's this stage, is you're on this so you're on this bridge to start, and then you go through this weird half pipe, but then you go through an aqua tunnel. That's why the level's called Aqua Tunnel. You go through a giant glass tunnel that you're just underwater, and there's like fish and giant sea monsters like floating around near you, and like there's all this echo and everything's slippery because you're just in this huge see-through glass tunnel for like most of the course. It's a really cool course design.
Mhm.
And this music this stupid catchy song just fits so
It is.
perfectly.
It
It
is.
is. It's so catchy.
It's still kind of playing in my head.
love it. I love it. And as a kid, this wasn't quite as abrasive and obnoxious because this was, kind of modeled after some popular-esque music you'd hear in movies at the time. So, yeah, this song was this song was the one that really stuck with me when I was a kid. Like, oh man, this soundtrack is so good. This is amazing. And I would say the whistles in particular are a little grating. Those are also in Super Mario Kart. There's a ton of that, like weird whistles that going at various octaves and stuff. Just I've never been a fan of that. And as I've gotten older, it's only gotten more abrasive. But I can't say I care all that much when the song is just that much fun. I love the bass line. I love the bass line in the song. It's so catchy.
It is. No, I'm taking pot shots at it, it's low hanging fruit, but it's, all in all, it's a good track. We joked about it, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So,
Well, that's this soundtrack to a T. It does what it's supposed to do. So this next one is for Sunset Valley, and it's not calm because none of this game's music is all that calm. But this is a good stage and it's good music. So strap in for Sunset Valley. Enjoy. Yeah, and that was Sunset Valley. I like the menacing xylophone scales toward the beginning of the song. Just kind of give you that piece of the little piece of chaos that this stage tends to have in it, if I'm remembering it correctly.
I'm glad you said that because that bass line is very menacing. It made me think, this would be a good candidate for our spooky special.
Yeah, I could hear that without a doubt. Yeah,
I
so
li-
Sunset Valley, the stage is a bit menacing. It's in the mountains, and this is the first stage that I think is genuinely presents you with difficulty. Um, Obviously, Easy Ride is really straightforward, and then Aqua Tunnel just kind of ramps up the difficulty a little bit. But this one, you've got I believe there's falling rocks at one point in the stage. There's hazards that get in your way, and a couple of tunnels you go in and out while you're going through this mountain range, and it can be a bit of a challenging course for sure. So
Mm,
this music really does fit.
it yeah, I almost wanted to be a jerk and say, is sunset so menacing? Like what happens after dark?
Oh, well, you find out in the next track, which is Night Owl.
I wish I could say that I knew that. Like I knew that was coming and I totally did that on purpose, but I absolutely didn't.
Yeah, no, this is what really all is menacing about this. It's a very pretty because it's the mountains at sunset.
Hmm.
But it's it's the mountains at sunset, and there's rocks falling and sharp turns and cliffs you can fall off of. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. Um, but yeah, the menace and but still overtly goofy. Like the instrument choices keep everything grounded in the inherent goofiness of this entire game. So it never really goes into full on menace mode. It just gets a little silly,
And that's okay.
and that is okay. It's what we like about it. It's what I like about it. I have no idea how you feel about
Like I said, I don't really remember the game itself, but the music is fun. At the very, very least, the music is fun.
it. Indeed, and so is the game. If you don't if you can tolerate its controls and extraordinarily low frame rate, then yeah, the game's fun. But that
Hmm.
moves us on to the final track of the first circuit, which is Night Owl. Um, and this is and also a more difficult stage and a less lighthearted song, just like Sunset Valley. So here's Night Owl from Stunt Race FX. Enjoy. There are the bendy notes of Night Owl. Mr. Matt, how did you feel about that
I absolutely love that xylophone.
one?
That
Yes.
xylophone is so wild and like just almost out of place. Like, what are you even doing here? And then, it just does its thing. You're like, all right, keep on. Um, It's funny. I asked where the menacing was, and and we started playing it, and I said, "Oh, there you are."
Yep.
It's great. It. What I liked about it is so far, I should say, what I like about everything I've heard is it's got a really great pacing and energy to it. I imagine that's what you know if I were to play these racing games more often, that's what I'd want. Because you're driving a car or an anthropomorphic pickup truck, and you want that um you want that energy. You want that like I want to feel a little sense of like I'm really going fast or something. And if it's really a slideshow frame rate, how are we going to achieve that? So the next best thing is audio. So
Yeah,
the soundtrack's really doing it.
having the music kind of keep up the pace
Hmm.
is a very good thing, and this game handles it quite well.
Good.
So, yeah, the constant xylophone kind of driving throughout the entire thing is there's I believe the Super NES Lemmings soundtrack does that almost exactly that a handful of times too.
Hmm.
But it works. It shouldn't work, but it works.
It's funny, but like it's funny in a way that's like we're not laughing at you, we're laughing with you.
Right. Yeah, it works. I love it. Well, I guess we should move on to the next track since I don't really have much else to say about it, and we're heading back to banjo territory, sir. We're going to the King's Forest.
I was
That
so afraid we were never going to get any more of that.
Oh no, no, we're definitely getting more banjo, sir. So we're on to the second circuit, and this is the it was first the easy circuit. This is the normal circuit. And the first track is called King's Forest, and it's got more banjo. So enjoy. Well, how you doing?
Hi, what? Good, fine, yeah, huh? No, that was my goodness. That was something else. That was I there. There's something we haven't really talked about yet with the soundtrack, and that's bass lines.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I mentioned him a little bit before, but yeah,
Yeah.
bass
No,
lines.
but you and I tend to dissect bass lines, and my goodness, this soundtrack so far is no shortage of really good bass lines.
Yeah, they
All
really
things
paid attention to
considered.
that.
Yeah, definitely. um, I mean, look, this is a really fun soundtrack, and this song is very much in league with that. I do. I mean, synthesized banjos, just two words that shouldn't go together, and yet here we are, somehow magically, just just high energy, lot of fun. It's still playing in my head somehow. And I wanted to quote Aqua Teen Hunger Force, who says, "And the only way to get it out is with a bullet.
It's with a bullet.
But no, I like this. I 10, 15 years ago, I'm like, this is stupid. Rah, rah, rah. But now as an adult, I'm like, who cares? It's silly. It's fun. Like there's, I don't know. I won't speak for anybody, but I can't imagine that there was a level of like I'm 100% serious about this. I'm an artist. This is the soundtrack. No, they had to be like, this is silly and goofy. This is fun. Because I
Yeah,
think
these
that's
cars got big old eyeballs on them. Let's have a good time.
right, exactly. So yeah, man, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I like this one not quite as much as Easy Ride. If I'm ranking the banjo centric tunes thus far, this is my less favorite of the two. However, I still think it's a really good time. And again, just kind of sums up that wonderful, weird, wacky energy that this game exudes. So we'll move on. We will travel on to a song that I think we've used on this podcast in the past. I think we used this in one of our winter specials, or I had intended to use it in one of our winter specials and never got around to it. But either way, this is the snow level. It's called White Land, just like the snow levels in F-Zero. No actual connection. It's just, here's another Nintendo racing game that called its snow levels the same thing, but whatever. White Land, it's a very enjoyable tune. So here we go. Here's White Land. Enjoy. And that was White Land. What a pleasant tune.
I will say I don't know that I necessarily get like snow level. You know how sometimes you can hear a track and go, that's probably from a snow level of something. I don't necessarily get it off the bat.
Yeah, it doesn't have your typical jingle bells in it, you know?
Yeah, the atypical sleigh bells, or like I always talk about that, like there's like a crystalline synthesized sound, but again, another really fun track, really upbeat, and another banger bass line.
Yep.
and then there's like the counter melody with the dee 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 dee. Like it does some funky stuff. Like I was listening, really giving it attention, and it kept psyching me out. Like I thought I knew where it was going. It would do something else, or it would only play a couple of the notes of the melody or something. It was very interesting.
It's also worth pointing out, and we haven't really mentioned it so far, the stereo separation in this soundtrack has been really impressive so far. I'm pretty sure, I hope that's coming through on the files that I sent you, because there's some really, really great stereo separation throughout all these tracks. That's just lovely to hear.
I'm gonna have to really pay attention, but I don't know that I've necessarily noticed. But I'll give it a real like solid. I'll give it my full attention, like to see that there's something going on there.
Yeah, like in the previous song, the main notes were coming in stereo, but the echo was coming out of just the left. Certain parts of the song will only play out of one speaker as opposed to the other. It's quite well done, I must say.
Okay, I'm gonna have to definitely give it a listen.
All right, so we're gonna keep up with the pleasant tracks. This is yet another almost aggressively pleasant song. This is from the track Lakeside. It is a lovely tune, and it's been on my regular rotation of pleasant video game music to listen to in the background of various things for a number of years. I love it. You'll love it. It's called Lakeside. Enjoy. It's just lovely. The little flute in the beginning sounds like birds chirping in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a delightful song. I love this
one. In the minute it started, I understood what aggressively pleasant meant. It was I definitely did. So yeah, I have been noticing the separation left and right channels. It's very interesting what they're doing, getting some what do you call it? Getting like some lead melodies, like for example on the right side, with their like counter melodies on the left. It's very interesting. I'm very surprised by that. Considering the tech and the time. But they're doing a fantastic job. Again, another great bass line.
Yep.
These are, considering the game and the time and how goofy the game is, this is a really well put together soundtrack.
Yeah, that's one of the things I respect so much about this game, is that the whole situation is it is a goofy concept, but you can tell that so much work and love went into this production. Like, there's just a ton of little details all over the place that and included in the soundtrack that just really tie this together and make it a little bit more than your typical silly nonsense. I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, it's why I picked it. So that brings us to the last song of the second set of courses. 1, 2. See, I didn't do all 4 of the last ones, which I know I skipped something. Now I might be confusing myself, but it doesn't matter. The next track that I picked is for Sky Ramp. The Sky Ramp is such a cool stage because it is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a bunch of ramps in the sky. It's floating in the sky, but while you're playing it, a bunch of R-Wings from Star Fox keep flying overhead, which is great. Because, this is a Super FX chip game. There's a lot of goofy, like cheeky Nintendo references throughout. Like there's one of the stages, there's big billboards and the billboards have like Mario's face or Fox McCloud or Kirby on them. There's just a lot of Nintendo stuff kind of shoved throughout the course of this game, which is great. But this Sky Ramp stage with the R-Wings flying around is great. But here is Sky Ramp. Enjoy. Woo! Did I mention banjo? Because it's back, baby. Banjoing all over the place. Yes.
Somewhere Ollie is crying.
I asked Ollie so long ago if he would do some covers from this game, and he was like, I try to avoid doing covers of games that have actual banjo music in them. Like, you're missing out. It's a great soundtrack. I would kill to hear this live.
Silly man.
Seriously, there's got to be someone. Has someone covered any of this music? I'm looking this up. How did you feel about this one?
As you look it up, I will tell you how I felt about it. Again, I reiterate, like, it's a lot of fun. The music's really fun. I just wish the game held up the same way to, play through. Because I would love to actually experience some of these songs with the levels they were created for. It seems like it would just be like ridiculous. Like, this is the kind of thing you throw on and maybe you grab a drink or something. You just kind of laugh at how silly it is. But these tracks are so well put together. I can't stop talking about the bass lines. It's just so good.
Yeah.
I will say some of the drum sounds, some of the drum samples are kind of funky.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say there are some limits to what the Super Nintendo could do, but I think they pull off rather well.
Yeah, if these drums stood on their own, they would collapse. But because it comes together with everything else, and you almost don't even notice it really, it covers up, I suppose, pretty well. So good on them. But yeah, a lot of fun. The soundtrack's a lot of fun.
Oh boy, so I found somebody made an attempt at remaking this game in Unreal Engine, and it looks amazing.
Oh, I need to see that.
It's just it's flat polygons and stuff. It's just running super smooth and wonderful looking. So wish that was real. Let's see. Heavy metal remixes. Yeah, I'm not seeing any real instrument covers except for someone doing the title theme on an electric guitar, but that's not what I'm here for. I want somebody on a banjo.
Bunch of cowards.
Yeah, seriously, where are all my banjo players at? Hitting up these wonderful tunes in real banjos. There's an arranged version of Sunset Valley. Yeah, it's just more electronic music. Well, YouTube, you've let me down. I want more I want actual banjo covers of Stunt Race FX music. Dagnabbit. I would love so much for this game to get remade. Like I can't even begin to tell you how high on my list of remakes this game is. Like not even trying to recreate the Super FX chip look, but the if you look at this game's official artwork, it's all claymation stuff. They're clay models of all these cars. They look amazing. I would absolutely love to see like a claymation looking racing game, and this is the game to do it with. These character designs are so great. Um, Boy, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Never gonna happen, but I'd love it to bits.
That'd be a wild undertaking, though. Like I feel like whatever effort was put into it, the outcome would be so rewarding.
Seriously, like if anyone, I mean, obviously this is a very Nintendo property, and if anyone's
Yeah.
gonna make a game like that in the modern day, it's Nintendo. But a 3D clay-looking racing game, like have everything look like clay models, and
What
never
was
all the
that?
stages look like dioramas. That would just be astonishing.
Ooh, I love a good diorama.
This game would be perfect for it. I
Yeah,
want it.
you're right.
I want it with all of my heart.
Ah, let's will it into existence.
All right, what did we just did Skyramp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now it's time for Blue Lake. This is another delightful little song. Um, it's the second to last full song we have because I have a couple of shorties to finish us off. But yeah, here's Blue Lake. It's another lovely song because it's for the Blue Lake stage. So how could it not be lovely? Enjoy. That was Blue Lake from Stunt Race FX. That's honest to goodness one of my favorite tracks in the game. I love that song. It's so delightful, so catchy, so wondrous. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
All
hanging in there,
right.
living
Cool,
the dream.
cool. Yeah, I love that. Love that
I'm
for
missing
you.
Star Wars for this. I just want you to know I'm a Star Wars whore, and this is the night that
Whoa.
the new episode of The Accolade is on. I'm missing Star Wars for this. That's how good a time I'm having that I'm not even mad about it. I'm missing
Wow.
Star Wars, and I'm just happy to be here listening to music with you.
I have nothing I could follow up. I'd probably be watching an episode of Bear. Um, I have to agree with you. This might be my favorite track. This was, I keep saying it, soundtrack's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's got a high energy. This was really what I think is the epitome of what I can remember of the game, the box art, everything. This is the epitome of this game, like boiled down to a song.
Yeah, that tracks. Again, bass line, Something else.
Check.
Baseline, check. Catchy tune, check. Chill vibe, check. It checks all the boxes. It's fantastic, and continues to be.
Yeah.
But we're gonna end. Well, not truly end, but we're gonna move on to Up and Down, which I believe is a track from one of the stunt courses, right? Because there's the racing levels and there's also like stunt levels. And I believe this is from one of the stunt levels. The track's called Up and Down. Let's listen to it. Enjoy. Yes, sir. That is Up and Down.
That
One of
bass
my
was in
favorites.
your face.
Yes, it was.
Love it. Love it.
Just
That
a
was good.
real delightful little tune. Just love it.
Yeah. I'm just repeating myself at this point.
Yeah. Not much to say beyond it just being a real good time. Love it. All right, so we got two more little tiny tracks for you. Two tiny little tracks that bring me endless amounts of joy. The first one is called Retire. This is the one of my absolute favorite things about this game, which is crazy to say because you know, we're talking about this wonderful game. This is the pause screen. When you pause this game, I gotta see if I can find Stunt FX pause. I need to send you a video of it.
Okay.
Just because you need to see it whenever you pause the game. I'm gonna send this to you in Messenger.
Okay.
You can cut this out if you need to, but whenever you pause the game, you get this just absolutely magnificent animation. It's super short, and it goes for as long as you have it paused. It's just this wonderful, adorable little
Yes.
animation. Yep, whenever you
Mhm.
pause it.
I remember this.
So this is the music that plays. It is a small like snippet of the Aqua Tunnel theme actually. So here is Retire from Stunt Race FX. Please enjoy. So when I tell you that my friend Joe and I used to just pause this game and play around with this menu, because first off, so you can't see it on the audio podcast, but when you pause, it's this like stick figure-ish animation of the car running like a dog, like its wheels are its feet, and it's just running. And this adorable little tune plays. And while it's running, if you press various buttons on the controller, you can either reverse the animation, speed it up, or slow it down. Which is just completely pointless, goofy fun. And that's another perfect testament to the level of detail and care and love that went into this production, because it's got weird, silly things like that, and it's just a wonderful piece of music that brings such a smile to my face. I always have this one of my regular rotation of video game music that I listen to, and every time it comes on, I have to smile because it's just so cute.
Can't argue there. You know what the animation kind of reminds me of? As though it came off of like a Game Boy.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah,
It's got that kind of almost color scheme.
yeah. Just black and white stick figures, the little sun in the background, and the running car. It's just perfect. It is just pure perfection. Love it to bits. Which I guess brings us to the last track. I couldn't end on anything other than this one. It's another short one, but it's every now and then there's a victory fanfare in some video game that no matter when it plays, no matter when you hear it, you cannot help but just be overwhelmingly delighted. I'm reminded of the goal sequence from Super Mario World, things to
Mm.
that effect. This is one of those for me. This is the music that plays when you complete a course in Stunt Race FX, and as the beginning part of it plays, this like 3D goal word just flies toward the camera, and then it starts going through all of your times, your records, and stuff like that. It's just pure perfection. It's super short, but it's pure perfection, and it's another one of those songs that I just can't not smile to. So here is Goal from Stunt Race FX. Enjoy. There, it's almost like a victory fanfare from an RPG. You get that little chime, and then it just has some sort of looping music while it's going over all your stats and stuff. It reminds me a lot of that. Uh, I love it, love it.
Yeah, like it shows you what items you got and the XP and all that.
Yeah,
Um,
like Chrono Trigger and
yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Yep.
Oh, Final Fantasy.
It's enduring legacy.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
but Stunt Race FX, huh? No, that reminds me a bit of Mario Kart 2. You get the fanfare and the stats and stuff like that. It's prototypical, I think, of games like this.
Oh, Mario Karts. Now I'm thinking of Super Mario Karts. Oh, I love
Yeah.
Super Mario Kart. I love the Super Nintendo so very much. Well, I have been playing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of NES lately. A bit more than Super NES. I've been going back to a lot of NES stuff lately just because I'm kind of pumped about that Nintendo World Championships NES edition that's coming out on Switch. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like kind of just getting myself in that mode. Plus, I was playing all the Game Boy Mega Man games that dropped on Nintendo Switch Online because I'm a goober. But yeah, Super Nintendo is just so where my heart lies. And it's the music that has so much to do with why I love that platform so much. There's a lot of great tunes that can only come out of a Super Nintendo because of its very specific instrument options. Because the Super Nintendo was all sample channels, so you'd get these really interesting sound fonts. Like some of them would sound like super realistic ornaments, but not ornaments, instruments, but really compressed. And then you get this more video gamey stuff that just sounds wonderfully video gamey, for lack of a better word. Uh, it's great stuff, and this whole game makes me happy, and I'm glad you seem to have enjoyed it as well.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it was almost brand new to me, but I remember the gameplay, and um, being reminded of that imagery and stuff through these songs. It brings back some memories. Like I said, being a kid and hanging out with my buddy in his bedroom or whatever, which what you did when you were 12 and 13. Those are really fun times,
Mhm.
and I should give that guy a call. Actually, I haven't spoken to him. He owes me He owes me something. Nothing nefarious. Nothing nefarious, I promise.
Of course, of course. Well, if you have never played this game before and you're interested in it, it's currently readily available on Nintendo Switch Online. And so if you have an NSO account on your Switch, go ahead and give this one a try. It takes a minute to get used to because of the extreme technical limitations, but it's really an impressive game, and it's just got just enough character to make it all come together and I think work quite well in the end. So that's it. That wraps up this episode, and that wraps up things for Stunt Race FX. And so it is time for me to ask you, Mr. Matt, what is our next game going to be?
So I was looking at our list because my goal here is to help you dwindle down that list to 0, which I know will be next to impossible, but I will do my best. And I saw you had quite a few games there that I thought, but of course, a lot of them we do specialty, like we do them. For example, I would love to have picked a Castlevania, but we have a long-standing tradition, so I stayed away from that. And then I saw one game and I said, you know what? I haven't thought of this game in a really long time, played it a lot, loved it. But then I realized when our due date was for the episode, and that is August. And a dear friend of ours by the name of Dean has a birthday in August.
Oh.
And I happen to know that his favorite game
Oh, man. I know where this is
all
going.
time is Bubsy.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Dean.
So for
Bubsy and
his
Claus Encounters
birthday,
the Third Kind.
we're going to do Bubsy.
Oh, no. See, I've been holding off on a Bubsy episode for like April Fool's one year, but no, this is too perfect.
No.
This is too perfect. And it's vaguely timely too. They just announced a Bubsy collection is coming out.
Oh, well, I know what I'm getting Dean for his birthday.
Oh my God. I'm so excited about it. It's the Bubsy Perfect collection.
Oh, no.
And I have questions. I have questions because it says it's the perfect collection, but the only games pictured so far are Bubsy, Bubsy 2, Bubsy 2 for Game Boy, and Bubsy 3D. And you can't have a perfect collection that's missing one entire game. It's missing Bubsy and Fractured Furry Tales for Atari Jaguar, which is arguably the worst of the Bubsy games, with the exception of Bubsy 2 for Game Boy, which is an atrocity. I'm very curious if it's going to have that. I would also love for this to have Super Bubsy on it, because Super Bubsy was the PC version of the first Bubsy game that had a crazy remastered soundtrack. And also it'd be neat if it had both Super Nintendo and Genesis versions of the first two games, but beggars can't be choosers. Bubsers can't be choosers. Ooh. I am still going to buy this no matter what. It's not coming out till next year, but still, sign me up. Sign me up for the Bubsy. They've intentionally not answered the questions of what other games are going to be in this collection, because once this was announced, everybody was asking, is the Jaguar game to be? And when I say everybody, I mean all 15 Bubsy fans. Every single one of us was lined up waiting. Is this going to have Fractured Furry Tales? Is this going to have a playable version of the Atari Jaguar Bubsy game? Which is, I might add, a steaming mountain of turds. I want it.
My favorite part of this whole conversation is how highly you seem to talk about the game and then immediately dash it against the rocks. It's fantastic.
I have such a love for the Bubsy franchise. I genuinely loved that first game. It was diluted, absolutely diluted, because the first game was it came out on Super Nintendo first, and it was like Super Nintendo's answer to Sonic the Hedgehog, because there's a lot of similarities in the way Bubsy controls. Mm-hmm. And it's nowhere near as good a game as Sonic the Hedgehog. It's actually pretty bad. But the original game does have what I think a fantastic soundtrack. And I thought his quips and whatnot during the game were actually rather amusing. So I cannot wait. I'm so glad you picked this. Count me in.
Consider me doing the Lord's work.
Doing the Lord's work, magnificent bastard.
Lord's work.
Oh! We here at the WaveBack podcast are incredibly grateful to Matt for picking Bubsy and making Vestlord puns, and to everyone who listens. We love communicating with you when we can. We have a couple of ways you can do that. There's the Geekade Discord channel, in which we have a WaveBack chat where we frequently discuss all manner of stuff related to video game music and whatever our next episodes are going to be. Of course, you can always still send us an email at mail@geekade.com, and while you're at it, check out our social media channels, which you should totally follow, like, and subscribe to if you have not already. WaveBack and other Geekade podcasts are made possible thanks to the Geekade Patreon page. There, patrons can get access to a monthly podcast topic and recording schedule, get early access to most of Geekade's shows, including this one, and more. If you've enjoyed our podcast over the years, follow the link in the description and give it a look. We really appreciate it. And finally, as always, be sure to check out all the other great content we have on our site over at geekade.com. We are, of course, going to leave you with credits music, and surprise, surprise, it's pleasant. But it doesn't need to be a surprise in order to be good. So enjoy yourselves, play some Stunt Race FX, gear up for some Bubsification next month. Oh man, I'm so excited. And thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time.